Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Woolwine, and today we are here with Mr. Joey Marx. How we doing, man?
That's me. I'm doing just good. How you doing?
Blessed, excited to have you on. I think we figured out who told me to get you on here. I believe it was Hans Carden. So, Hans, if you're
That,
watching
that,
this,
that.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Han.
Before we dive into your wrestling journey, your wrestling career, would you like to shout out any social medias, things like that, just to let fans know where they can stay up to date with you?
Yeah, no. So my TikTok is Joey Marx 89, or not my TikTok, my Instagram. My Instagram is Joey Marx 89, and then my TikTok is JMARX 04 underscore 04. So JMARX underscore 04.
Perfect, perfect. And here on the ILW Pod, I Love Wrestling podcast, something I try to do is embrace our inner fandom because at heart we are all fans.
hmm
So when did you find professional wrestling, and what about it maybe made you fall in love with it?
So I actually first discovered pro wrestling when I was 7 years old, and it was actually my sister Kim who she was all about it, and I actually hated it because it was on during like my shows, and my mother, she's not a fan of wrestling at all. So anytime I wanted to watch my stuff, I would just tell on her, "Hey, mom, she's watching that wrestling stuff." A year later, don't know what it was. She's watching it, and I just get sucked in. I'm pretty sure it was like I saw Sting come down from the raft because it was like 97, yeah, like 96, 97, maybe even 98. But yeah, I see Sting come down from the Raptors or something, and ever since I've just been sucked in. Diamond Dallas Page, Sting, all the. I started off as a WCW guy.
Okay. What about WCW back in the day drew you in more compared to a WWF?
I didn't know that WWF existed.
Oh,
I just
okay.
knew. Like I'm 7, 8 years old. I just
Yeah.
thought that this was it. Like I didn't know that WWF existed probably until about probably like a year later or so when I found out that there was two things. And then it was like literally during like the peak of like the Monday Night Wars.
Yes.
So like it was it was a good time, especially being a kid in that era, dude. Like and just the oh my god, this is happening. Like when Thing won the belt at Starcade freaking '97, it was like oh my, like
Who were some of like your favorites as a kid? I know you mentioned Sting, but like who else really captivated you as a child?
so Sting was obviously one of them because just he was like the first. Honestly, I'm pretty sure he was the first one that I was just like, oh my god, this guy is awesome. But then like because like I said, I'm a WCW, so Diamond Dallas Page, he was a big one. And then when I got over to like WWF and stuff, of course, Stone Cold, The Rock, obviously. But then it's like the Hardys, Jeff Hardy in particularly, X Pac. I was a real big fan of X Pac, and basically I was the smaller dudes that could do the cool flippy stuff. Like that's who I liked. Rey Mysterio, yeah,
Okay. Who out of those guys would you say like inspired you to maybe take on a similar style?
Jeff Hardy
Jeff Hardy?
by by
Okay.
by sure, by far. Like Jeff
Definitely,
was the
definitely.
daredevil. Jeff was the risk taker. He was the high flyer, the ladders, all that stuff. So yeah, I'd probably say for sure.
You know, what I've found fascinating about Jeff is throughout doing this podcast, honestly speaking, Jeff Hardy's probably inspired most of the people that I've had on here throughout probably over 100 episodes that I've done so far, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy just to see the influence that he's had. Um, and what do you think about guys like that still doing it today? Like, is that
Honestly,
something
like
that,
it all depends on who it is. Like I'm sorry, like some of the dudes that are just doing it to do it, they you see their stuff and it's like it might be time to hang up. And that sucks because it's some of the bet like I'm sorry, dude, I will forever say that like Chris Jericho is the greatest of all time. The stuff that like he has done, and one, he was the first ever freaking undisputed champion. Two, he has evolved and changed his gimmick and just changed. He's changed so many times, and every single time he gets it over. Every single time. The list, freaking the real slow talking heel Jericho, Y2J, everything he freaking does, it just gets over. But you see his late, like recent stuff in the ring, and you're just like, you don't kind of move how you used to, sir. Like, but
Do
that's yeah.
do you think somebody like Jericho would be better in maybe a managerial role or even on commentary, somewhere like that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, look. Even though I say that he's not moving how he used to, he's still great. No matter what,
Yes,
no matter what role you put him in, he will be amazing at. That's just facts.
he's ratings. The fact is he draws in eyes.
Yes, correct. When you could get a whole stadium or whatever you want to say for AEW singing your theme song to no music,
You're
like,
over,
come on.
and you've been over for a long time.
That's the organic, natural, like, holy. I don't know if I can swear on this. Um,
You're good.
that like this is like this is great. This is what it's about. Like,
Um, growing up, you watched it. Was there ever a time where you felt like out of love with it, or you stepped away from
oh yeah,
wrestling at all?
oh yeah. So um, there's a couple times like probably want to say like 2012 to maybe like 2014 maybe. I was
Okay.
I struggled with alcohol for a long time. Like I was a big alcoholic. Um, and yeah, that was more important than anything. Getting drunk was. I would still do shows, but it wouldn't be consistent. It would be like a show here, 6 months later, a show there, and then 3 months later, whatever. And then that was one time. And then once I got married, so I got married in 2016, and that's kind of like when I really like I had two children, and that's really when I thought I was done. Like I was a family man. Like I'd rather do this, and this, blah blah blah, and that I was out for a good 5 years.
Okay.
Again, only doing shows like one here, 6 months there, 2 months there. Like basically anytime Carlos from Galli Lucha Libre, like he runs that. Anytime he basically like hit me up to do a show, I would do it. Back then when Zello was going down, that was my boy's fed. Anytime he needed me, I would do it. And then yeah, like so like that was basically it. Like when my friends asked, yeah, I'll do a show, whatever. But other than that, I wasn't consistently trying to get booked. I wasn't parading it around. I wasn't doing content or whatever to try to like. No, I was basically just done. I thought I was done.
Okay. Uh, wh- what made you decide to start training to be an in-ring performer?
When I was 7 years old and I saw that, I said, "That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be when I grow up."
Okay.
Or not seven, 8 years old. 8 years old when I actually started to like it. I was like, "Yep, this is what I'm gonna do." And yep, ever since then.
How did you go about finding a training school and things like that in the mid
So
to early 2000s?
so a bunch of me and my guys I went to high school, like Mason Conrad. That's like we're like legit, bro. Like that's my best friend. Like me and him have been best friends since 2003. Like did it all. Went to high school, wrestled in high school, did the backyard stuff, got trained, and here we are today. Like so, but we had a core group of guys that we used to yard with, and Big John Crowley was one of them.
Okay.
So again, I've known Big John Crowley since 2003, and we've all been so the owner. I don't know if you know about Zello or anything, but the owner of Zello, his name is Matt McCauley. So it was like me, him, uh, Mason, or Gary. Gary's his shoot name. So Gary, John, me, Matt McCauley, and like a few other dudes from high school. We would yard, put out flyers, and do shows during the summer, and we'd get like maybe like 50, 100 people, whatever. But His cousin, Matt's cousin, was dating Tony Scarpone, and that is how that's how I got into training. But before that, I think it was like James Camione or James Russo. He's the one I'm pretty sure, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Two of the guys that we yarded with, I think, found Carlos. Found Carlos, and Carlos was this was at the start where Carlos was going to start doing. He did boxing. He was going to start doing lucha libre, and this was again back in 2007 ish era like time. So, anyways, but that's so they found the building, and then Matt brought in Tony,
Okay.
and then
And
that's how it started.
that's how it kind of snowballed into what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, we brought up Galli, brought up Carlos. How important has Galli Lucha been to your career?
Galli's home.
Home.
Galli will always be home.
Okay.
I will always say yes to Carlos, and that's because when we first started out, he gave us a place. He gives us a place to train. He gave us a place to do shows. He always, uh, yeah, like even right now, like me and Gary are basically we have a training day through his school to where we will whoever it's whoever wants to come. It's more of like of a fine tuning thing. Whereas it's like guys that already have been in a couple years or whatever, but they want to like just get better and that's we mainly do it. Me and Gary do it for like ring rust, in ring cardio, like this and that. But if we can help people along the way, then we're all about it. Like so, Carlos has given us a lot, so that's why I don't mind doing whatever he needs to do. We go in there and try to make that company better.
Is training something now that you find yourself like really enjoying and sinking your teeth into?
Honestly, it was never a thing of mine. I it was more Gary's thing than mine. I would let him take point because, like I said, for us, it was more just in ring cardio and keeping the ring rust off. I never liked the idea because I'd seen it so many times. I'm not going to name names, but I've seen it so many times with Gary in particular. In my opinion, he would because Gary's he's such an amazing person. Like he will he wants to help and he wants to whatever. So he will take it upon himself when someone expresses interest, and he will basically take that guy like kind of under his wing. And I've seen him get stabbed in the back so many times. People that just aren't appreciative of it, or literally like the second someone blows smoke up their ass or whatever, they go to wherever that is and just leave them in the dust. I never wanted that. I never wanted that. That's why I never did it. But recently, with how it's been, there have been times where Gary couldn't make it, and it's just me basically running it. And you start off with all these kids that they're just it's just not the same like how it used to be.
Okay.
You yell at a kid for doing something wrong after he's seen it done 6 times, you're an asshole. Whereas back when I was training, if you didn't get something after watching it for 6 times, you were literally getting the shit kicked out of you. Because like, why? Why aren't you paying attention? Why aren't you? Because you're doing too much of this, and they don't take it seriously. So when I yell at them because I do take it seriously, I'm an asshole. But what they don't realize is you literally have someone's life in your hand, and your life is in someone else's. Like, do you really like because you're goofing around and you mess up and you kill somebody? Do you want that on your conscience? I sure as hell don't. And they don't take it that way. They just take it as I'm being mean. You're in the wrong sport, dude. That's my
Which
opinion, though.
I could agree on that, and I've heard that from other trainers. Is sometimes it feels like the like not that the old way was necessarily 100% right because there was flaws, but like nowadays maybe the people walking through the door, not all the time are they focused, and not all the time are they able to take criticism without projecting it out on the person that's giving
100%.
it. So
100%. Like
maybe that's something that people, I guess, should be more aware of.
what, and it's like, dude, like when it comes to me, I tell the kids that I help out all the time, dude, I don't make you guys do anything that I have not done or anything that I'm not willing to do. And literally every drill that we do, every spot, every cardio spot, I'm there doing it with them at least sometimes twice because we have odd numbers of people, and we do it for free. But
That's
we're assholes because I
you,
tell you you suck,
you
and
can't
this is
pass up
why you
free.
suck.
You know,
Well,
like
people do it all the time.
that's
People do it
crazy.
all the time, all the time.
That's wild.
The
I
few
don't.
kids that actually stuck around and continue to come, they're doing so much better than when they first started coming around. So much better. It's everything's starting to click with them, and they've only been in a couple years. But you see how when they first came, and even they realize it. For example, so one of I don't remember who it was, and I'm not gonna say where, blah blah blah, but people will know. This one guy comes down as a trainer, right? And then all of a sudden, all these people show up because it's somewhat of importance, right? It's not just me or get like it's somewhat of importance, right? And we're doing the training, we're doing the training, we're doing the training, right? And he's legit saying everything that we've been saying to these kids. And I go up to one of the kids who's been consistent with us and who's been coming and blah blah blah. And I go to him. I'm like, you notice how he hasn't said a damn word to you? And you notice how he's literally saying everything that we've been telling you for like the last whatever, however long. And even he sees it. He realizes it. And I'm like, and we've been doing this a long time. We know what we're talking about.
You know,
Ugh.
something that I've been able to talk to some of the galley guys about is the difference in atmosphere that's at the shows. What
Mhm.
would you say is the biggest difference between a Galli Lucha crowd or show compared to some of the other shows you've been able to work for?
So it's hard to just so Galley's a different type. Like, 'cause you got so much fan base. You have your smart marks where they want to see all the cool spots. You got your guys that literally just want a good story and they want to be entertained. They want to be part of the show. And then it's very loud. You got noisemakers. You got freaking the dudes with the drums, and it's a different experience in itself. Something that can work so easily over there is not going to work over there. It's every crowd's different and every experience is different. But there's something about guys that like you go there when it's good, when it's hot, it's awesome. It's just awesome.
You know, I've had the opportunity so far. I've been to one galley event. It's been a couple years, but
Mm-hmm.
it was outside at like this farm. There was a couple hundred people there, and you're not wrong. The noise makers, the guys with the drums, and then the style, just the lucha style is so much different to what you're used to. And like my siblings came with me, and two of them had never really got into wrestling. It was their first wrestling show. And from that moment, I can tell you that like it got them ready to go to more wrestling shows. And now we'll go to events and they're like, well, where's the lucha guys? Where's these guys? So like it's something that even to an outside audience, I feel like Galli's one of those things that could draw in a different type of viewer, if that makes sense.
They've got to be doing something right because if you think about it, it's Galley, POW, and AAW that have been like the longest companies in the Midwest, or at least
Okay.
in Illinois, Chicagoland area. And then like after that, it's like freelance and then so forth and so on. But it's literally POW, AAW, and Galley that have been like the longest reigning consecutive companies in the Chicagoland area. So they got to be doing something right.
Agreed. Agreed. Do you prefer the lucha libre style as opposed to like a more traditional or American style of wrestling?
No, I'm honestly more just of a hybrid. I like the lucha style because like I do all the high fly stuff, and I like doing all the ranas and the head scissors and just the cool like acrobatics parts of wrestling. But also the fact of I'm getting older and I get blown up a lot easier. So I've gone down to like the more traditional style of wrestling, and yeah. But I just like I like more think of it as a hybrid. I like it when it all flows in just nicely, and it's a whole thing.
Got you. Throughout your career, you've been a part of a couple tag teams.
Hmm.
One was Too Sweet with yourself and Bryce Benjamin.
Uh,
Tell us how that came together.
so Bryce is one of my trainers. So what had happened was before later here, little back thing. So right, I told you earlier it was Tony Scarpone. We brought Tony Scarpone in. Tony Scarpone brought in Rob Anthony, Egotistical Fantasco, and then they brought in Bryce. Um, and from the get go, me and Bryce just clicked. Like we're, I don't even know what else to say. We just clicked.
Okay.
Fast forward to don't even know how the conversation came up. I think the first time we ever tagged, it was for Nick Hedford, who used to be a rep. Now he does the audio visual or audio and visual for POW and all like the tapings and all that stuff. He does all that stuff for POW. So I think he was doing a show for it was CLPW, and it was a tag team tournament, and he asked us if we would do it, and I'm pretty sure that's why we were just like it's a tag tournament, so yeah, like yeah, you want to do, and that was like the first time we ever did it. And then I don't know what, honestly, I don't know how it became a thing to where we just kept doing it. Like Too Sweet was like a gag name. Like we didn't think because we didn't think that we would be tagging for 2 years. So yeah, Team Too Sweet, like whatever. Like, and it just
Took off.
people liked it. People liked us. Like we started getting booked places. And that's one thing that I will say about Bryce. Bryce is gold. Anything Bryce puts his mind to, and when it comes to wrestling, or it just works. No matter what it is, he makes it work, and he does it so well. Like anything, like when him and Jazz were doing the N words, like come on, like they were tag team champions everywhere, going everywhere, and that was he was at that time he was 18 years in, 18, 19 years in, getting old, and yet still just he was doing that. He was training dudes seven. It was literally wrestling was his job. So it was shows. He was training 7 days a week, and at Bryce, I can't say enough good things about the
What was your or what is your favorite maybe moment or match that you had with Bryce?
man. Me versus him at as like a tag or like just with him.
We'll do both.
Okay, so tag team easily was against Irish Airborne or
Okay.
Ohio's for Killers. Jake and Dave Chris easily freaking it was at Hybrid Pro Wrestling in Ohio, and this is of course Jake they've been doing it for how long now, and they're hometown boys, so they come out, they get all the cheers. It's faith, it's good guy, and literally the card it had all the rundown of what they wanted throughout the show. Okay, this match is doing this, blah, blah. Literally, our match it says do everything in the fucking book. That's literally what it said. And we're like, okay, so we're going out there and we're gonna just tear the house down. So they go out, of course, hometown babies, whatever. We come out, they don't care about us at all. They don't give a shit, booing us, blah blah blah. Throughout the match, they had even forgotten our name. But as the match went on and we started like we hit a tag move, they hit a tag move, the crowd, that's a tag move for them, boos for us. Match keeps going. We finally start winning the crowd over because what we're doing in the ring, both teams, and they even forgot our name. They just start chanting "guys in red." So that is another thing of just like it's they didn't care about us, didn't know us, didn't like us, didn't want to. But by the time we were done or halfway through that match, that crowd was going ape shit for both teams, and it was awesome. So
Well,
that was tag. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna follow up with what about the moment with
Oh,
you and him?
for me versus him at freelance, hobo with the shotgun drop kick at Logan Square Auditorium. It was just that was another one that was just it's literally easily my top five, if not probably my favorite match.
Okay, okay.
Me at that point. Oh, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna move on to another question, but go ahead, elaborate. I'm
Oh no,
sorry.
I was just going. No, you're fine. I was just gonna go. It's like me and Sean have literally at that point have known each other and worked each other so many times. We literally called two things. We called
Okay,
two things, and we were like, all right, cool. And
just went out
it
and
was
made it
just
happen.
it was easy. It was so easy because I knew him so well, he knew me so well, and we're just in there like, hey, let's do that one thing. Literally, all we have to say is a word, and that's it. We know what we're gonna do, and that's why it was so fun and so easy.
That's amazing. Um, I know earlier we touched on Mason Conrad,
Yep.
uh, another team you've been a part of. What made you guys decide to come together as the heroes of our time?
Okay, so me, like I said, me and Mason or Gary, however you want to say it, have known each other and been best friends since 2003. And like I've already stated, we did it all. We wrestled in high school, we yarded, we got trained. Why it took us this long to be like, hey, you want to tag? Yeah, let's do it. Like I honestly think it was because it was the right time. He had just got not just had his knee surgery, but it's been a few years since his knee surgery, and I don't think he's taken wrestling as serious as he did after that surgery until like me and him started, excuse me, tagging. And then for me, it was literally like at the start of my divorce,
Okay.
and I just my whole life just so I wanted to get back into wrestling to help basically as like a coping mechanism to
Yeah.
like escape my real life and to go in, and then that's when I was like, you want to tag? Like, why haven't we tagged? Why? We've been best friends for 20 plus years. Like, why aren't we tagging? Like, and that's basically how that came out. Like, we've been doing it
How
for
did
the
it
last 3 years.
how did it feel for you guys to win the PAL Tag Team Championships?
So again, Pow is great. It took me and Jimmy talking for about a year through Facebook Messenger before we even got on the show.
Okay.
He just kept on, hey, I swear I'm getting you guys in. I'm getting it. And we're like, all right, cool, cool, all right, yep. And he did. And ever since then, it's just been great there. Jimmy's great. Pal's great. When we won the tag titles, that again, it's like it's kind of like a bucket list.
Hmm.
It's one of those, like I said, it's one of those promotions that's the longest reigning, cool. And it's like, all right, sweet, that's like awesome. We are now. It's just a cool moment. Like I don't really have the word. It's just cool because it's one of the longest consistent wrestling companies. So we win those belts. Plus, they're really pretty.
They're great looking belts.
They are. So it's like, oh, this is awesome, and it's just the thing. Like when you become champs, it's just that it's the company's way of recognizing you that you can do it. Like, so it's a good feeling.
How does it feel to be in, this point in your career? You've done it for almost 20 years to be
Mm-hmm.
still getting that recognition that you probably deserve.
Honestly, man, like I don't do it. I mean, we get it because we've been doing it for a while, and it's definitely here we'll take Galli again for this question. Carlos will literally put the newer guys with me and Gary. just so they can get experience with experienced guys and so that they can learn throughout the match. And so we try as a team to get the best out of them, and we try to just make it as easy and knowledgeable or whatever, however you want to put it,
Yeah.
as can be. Like they and that's what we want to do. We want to better. We're not going to be able to do this forever. We've literally probably got about another like 5 or 6 years maybe. So we want the younger kids to be able to carry on wrestling. We want them to get better. It's actually, or it's very nice actually, because like the kids that we help train, like I said, from day one till now, how they've progressed and everything, and it's a nice feeling. It really is. It's a nice feeling watching people that suck and now they don't suck,
Okay.
and it's a nice feeling.
Something
I honestly don't even
fun.
know if that answered your question. Sorry.
No, it worked. It worked. And I just, that worked. I
Okay.
don't have words to express, but that worked. Um, Something I try to do fun and different on the channel is like, since I started podcasting, I've been told a lot of times, that I'm supposed to not be a fan, that I'm supposed to be more of like a journalist, but I don't like that.
Why?
It just doesn't make sense. Exactly. Just, I don't know. I don't get it. Um,
I don't
with
either. We're all fans. If we're not fans, why are we doing this?
Look, if we're not Marks, what are we?
Right?
But with that said, to go against the grain, to go against the guys and girls that may have told me that, I've chosen to go and find five opponents of yours throughout your career that piqued my interest as a wrestling fan. That I just like to know a little bit what it was like working with them, maybe advice or things that you learned from the experience working with these guys.
Okay.
I got five of them. I'm going to start with a man formerly known as Kalisto. At the time, he was known as Samurai Del Sol.
So Manny, uh, or Samurai, sorry, Samurai,
You're good.
good. He's a good dude. It's he at that time before Manny got signed. Again, it was I was only a couple years in when Manny got signed, but even back then, like he always he was so he didn't believe in himself. Like he was so hard on himself. If things didn't go perfectly or any, he was just so hard on himself. But then he would go out there and do all these amazing things. So like to watch him was great. I honestly I don't think I think I only wrestled against him one time. Other than that, it was either I was teaming with him or just I was watching him, and it was always just it was the things that he would do. It's like, how are you not signed yet, man? Like you basically to me at that point, I'm like, dude, like you're the next Mysterio. Like, come on, like,
Definitely.
and but so it was a real pleasure to be able to share the ring with him and just the only thing that I really like learned from Manny, he taught me how to like do like the cool acrobatic stuff that I couldn't do, or he would be always the one saying, no, you got it, dude, just go, you got it.
Up next, I got Prince Ali, now known as Mustafa Ali.
Oh man, how much time do you have?
I got time.
That man, I love that man. Like again, he came into my career very like a couple years. I'm only in a couple years, and I worked with him for like 6 7 months. It was always just me versus him, me versus him, me versus him. I don't know what it was about me, but I feel like he took a liking to me, and he's just so knowledgeable. Even to this day, this man talks, and I'm just like, mm-hmm. Tell me more, please. Just like the stuff that just comes out of it, and it works, and it flows, and it's so nice, and he's just so. I can't say more good things about it. He helped me so much so early on in my career. It's I don't think that I would be as good as I am now without his help. And even
Okay.
to this day, if I get really stuck, I'll call him and see if he can help get something over or whatever.
Okay.
That
You
man
know,
needs anything, yeah, I will do it. Like,
with Ali, I feel like right now he's just now getting the recognition he deserves, which is crazy because he's been doing it for so long at such a impactful level. So it's just
yeah,
great to see, things like him versus Santana on TNA steal the show and
mm-hmm,
recognized as stealing the show. And not to mention like the
mm-hmm.
things he's doing for House of Glory or just everywhere. It's great to see now that finally people are like, Ali deserves to be somewhere on TV all the time.
Ali wants to give the best out of wrestling. No matter who he's working, he will get the best out of you. And if and he, the one thing that he really helped me with is when I knew I was wrestling him, I would get so nervous, like ridiculously nervous. And he was just like, dude, like we're just gonna go out. Like I got you, don't worry. Like he genuinely loves wrestling, and he wants the best out there out of everybody. He wants everybody to win.
Okay. Up next on the list, I have somebody who used to team with Kalisto, Mr. Lince Dorado.
Lince Dorado. Okay, so Lince again is one of those dudes that I have only honestly I think I've wrestled him one time. Other
Okay.
than that, no, twice. Other than that, I've just been teams with him. But again, he's another one of those dudes that we're just cool. We're cool. We're cool with each other. We've always been cool with each other. And anytime that he is in my one of my matches or whatever, it's again he's just very helpful. And he tells me he puts things in different perspectives of how to think and yeah, like it's really just I'm at the point of my career, whatever, where it's not so much in ring stuff that I need help with, but it's other people's brains. Just yesterday, I called Gary up because no wrestling brains are alike. Everyone's got a different wrestling brain. So I called him up yesterday, literally yesterday. I'm like, yo, I want to pick your brain real quick because as knowledgeable in whatever I am, his brain is different than my brain. So I'm like, all right, and I respect his stuff. So, but that's the thing that Lince is always, he's always just very, well, why don't you do this? Why doesn't this work? Oh, I never thought of that. Oh, that's good. Like that. It's just, he's so smart.
I know this guy you touched on a little bit earlier, but he's a former guest of the podcast, and I always just love hearing stories about him. I got Jake Christ.
So, okay. Honestly, I've had one match with the guy.
Okay,
That match that I said that was it. Before
okay,
that, and even after, I don't even think I've shared a locker room with him since then.
okay.
And that was like 2012. Like, so honestly,
That's fair. Fair enough.
I don't really know much about him other than the match that we had was
Fantastic.
amazing.
That's something that I've heard quite often. Honestly, is I've tied up with him once, maybe twice, and the takeaway from it was a great match. And I
Yeah,
can say I've had the opportunity to meet him on the podcast, and I've had one opportunity to run past him at a wrestling show. And he's like one of the nicest guys I've ever like had the
I mean,
privilege to
like
talk to.
I follow him on like Facebook and all that stuff, and like I always read his stuff that he posts. You know, like I said, I only met him once, and I only, but I'm a big yay person when it comes to people taking care of themselves. Because
Mm-hmm.
when my divorce started, I was like 110 pounds, very sickly looking, very just depressed and thought my life was over, blah blah blah. And since then, I've put on about 55 pounds, and I've really started taking care of myself. I've been 10 years sober, blah blah blah. So like to see, I would see his gym progression and all that, and just read about how he's such a healthier person and this and this. And I'm really all about that. So whenever I see that, I give it a like and yay you type deal.
Okay. Um, Last but not least on this list is some may consider him a legend here in the Chicagoland area, Gringo Loco.
So Gringo is great. Like you can't put it past him that Gringo has been doing it a long time and Gringo knows his shit. But I really never did anything with him. Like I didn't. And even in like the beginning of my career, I remember here, let's start over. Gringo's changed, that's for damn sure. Gringo used to be a freaking just he used to be a dick. Straight up, he was only in it for himself. Like I remember one time me and him were doing a show back when underground before freelance, like it was old underground. And it was me versus him, and I was going over, and he had like a huge thing about it and wore a mask because it was just, oh, you can't lose to him. Like, but then when I came back and I saw him again, totally different person, totally different person. Just very very nice and very helping out other guys, and that's where he got to where he is now, and he's doing great. Like I really didn't have any much or a lot of interactions with him,
Okay.
honestly. Other than hey, like good to see you, freaking awesome, and again, he's another dude that he could show you how to do anything. The thing that people do, that he's called base god for a reason because he knows how to do everything. When you're basing all that stuff, you know, like say he's trying to teach someone how to do it. He's taken it so many times that even though if he can't do it, if he can't, a lot of the stuff he can do, but if he can't, he knows how to because he's taken it so many times.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. I never knew why the nickname was given. So that's cool. That's a
Oh, the base god? Oh, the
yeah.
base god is because he's a base.
Okay.
That's why all these guys that freaking oh my god, I'm drawing blanks. That the heel de God Vikingos. I don't even know why I
Okay.
couldn't think of his name. Anyway, so like Vikingo, and basically anybody that Gringo is literally just sitting there doing this and wait, and then they do the cool. That's he. This is you base.
Okay.
That's the base, and he's very very good at it because he's been doing it for so long.
That's amazing. Okay. Little piece of wrestling knowledge I just gained. Thank
Oh,
you
dude,
for
like
that.
you see the clips of Gringo doing the stuff that he does, and just how solid of a man that he is. It's like, oh, okay, Gringo,
Uh,
we
You
see
know,
you.
I've seen him. I want to say two or three times in person at like a CSW show, and you're not wrong. He's like you can tell he knows what he's doing in the ring,
Yes,
and he does it in a. I think the key that I've noticed with Gringo is he does it in a way to where it looks less of a dance and more of a fight. Like he makes it look realistic in doing the acrobatic things that most people do, and it looks like a dance. If that makes sense.
100%, 100%.
Um, you know, something I found really cool about your career is you've had this long journey and you finally got to take a trip to Mexico and wrestle down in Mexico. What was that experience like wrestling down there for the first time?
That was an amazing experience. It was just so every day was just it was the one and only time that I literally like thought of it as, oh my god, like this is my life. Like if I could do this every day, then I would because we did it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, wrestled every day, and that was it. I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't worry about work I didn't worry about. No, I just wrestled. That's it. I just got paid to wrestle. And it literally felt like, okay, so if this was my actual career, this is how it would feel. And that it was awesome. Going down there was awesome. Being with my best friend was awesome. Being in front of all those people and wrestling literally in a different country and having people after like during the show, they're booing us like crazy because we're the white dudes and we're telling them that they suck and blah blah blah. But then after the fact that they come up to us, they all want their pictures with us, telling us how freaking good we are and this and this, and it's awesome. It was such an awesome experience.
I got one more question for you, and I'll let you go. Um,
Cool deal.
what so far in your career, if you can pick one, has been maybe your favorite moment?
Mexico, probably.
Mexico?
Honestly,
Okay,
honestly, Mexico is probably the best one.
definitely. You know, Joey, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me
I
today.
thank you for having me.
Of course. Before we go, would you like to shout out your social medias one more time?
So you can get me at Instagram is Joey Marx, all one word, 89. And then my TikTok is JMARX_04.
Perfect. Joey, I'm gonna leave the door open. If you ever want to come back on for part two, I'd absolutely love to have you, man.
Whenever you want me, man. I'm good.
Sounds good. I'll just leave this then at see you next time.
Yes, sir. All right, man.